I'd like to welcome everybody to the first ever final pitch at the EIC. We are so excited to see our groups have been working hard, and where they started and where they're going to be today is pretty incredible. But before we get started, I'd like to give a round of applause to our three judges: Cassie Hain from Nolensville Farmers Market, Charlie Melikar, and Jose Gonzalez from Belmont University. Please give these folks a round of applause. Also, I want to make sure that we give a round of applause to our teachers, Mr. Chris Cummings, Dr. Beth Foreman, and Stephanie Thomas. Please give those folks a round of applause. I don't want to take up any more time, but I cannot say thank you enough to our board, Catalyst network that helps the EIC go, our partners with Williamson Inc., and everybody else in between, our mentors, coaches. This cannot be done without each and every one of you. Parents, thank you. And I think that this is going to be phenomenal for you to see. Without further ado, I'm going to let Dr. Foreman introduce our first group.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Lagome is an eco-friendly swimwear company for women that offers customizable options. The company aims to promote body positivity for women of all body types while reducing waste and harmful effects of production in our industry, not only by our practices, but also by donating funds and networking our cause in the future with the much appreciated help of our investors. Please welcome Lagome.
Good morning, everybody. We're so happy to be here for you today. And Lagome is a Swedish word that means just right and in balance, which really reflects what we want to do with our business. Now, I'd like you guys to take a moment and think about the women in your lives. What's special about them? What do you love about them? Just take a moment. You might have thought of your mother, a nurturing presence, or a headstrong daughter, one that talks back too much, or whoever woman that you deem worthy of respect in your life. We love to admire these women, but we need to take time and admire and acknowledge the women that we don't see every day.
These are the women working for extremely low wages in Bangladesh and textile mills, or the ones in sub-Saharan Africa holding up their country's economies by working the agrarian jobs and fields, or anyone working in labor fields exposing themselves to extreme vulnerability to sexual harassment. I think about these women, and you may not have thought about these women, but I do, we do. It's these and my sister and my best friend who hate their beautiful bodies because the media and strangers told them to, and the 91% of all women who feel uncomfortable with their bodies. I think about them and my Mother Earth, who is slowly dying from strangers' greed.
All of these women have made a difference in our lives, and that is why we decided to start Lagome, a company for women, by women. Now, we can't reach every woman, but we can start to help some feel more confident and comfortable in their body type, along with clean purchasing practices. That is why our company Lagome offers customizable swimwear that is 100% eco-friendly. Now, yes, we are a small business located in the Franklin area, but our impact can be big with your help. So I just wanted to thank you all for being here today, and I'll start with introducing all of us. So this is Gracie.
Good morning, everyone.
And this is Erin.
Welcome.
And I'm Noelle. And we are all sustainability advocates that use our platform at school to discuss progressive issues with our peers.
Turning our conversation into a message for our business is really important to us here at Lagome. That's why we're proud to say that Lagome is clean, comfortable, and customizable, offering eco-friendly swimsuits to women of all body types, with the option to customize the style, sizing, and cover-up options so that our customer feels good about the environment and looks good in their swimwear. And aiming to be as clean as possible, we will also be using eco-friendly padded mailers, thank you cards, and tissue paper for our shipping and packaging.
We are targeting sustainable women and anyone who wants to integrate eco-friendly purchasing practices into their lives. We're also targeting women who feel like the main fashion industry doesn't really accommodate to their body, which is pretty much everybody, because they only offer about 4 sizes. So this is going to be women who experience a lot of weight fluctuations, whether it be with childbirth, menopause, young adults going through hormonal changes. And our bodies are just constantly changing, and oftentimes our swimsuits just can't keep up. So in the Franklin area, we want to reach out to women who just want to celebrate their natural bodies and the natural environment along with us.
All right, so as our company grows, we want to give back to global nonprofits. And some examples would include 350.org, the Women's Center for Solidarity, and the World Wildlife Foundation. And in doing so, we would give back 20% of our gross profits. Also in February, we had the opportunity to pitch for $300, and that total was awarded to us. So with that $300, we were able to purchase 3 types of fabric right here, blue, pink, and white. And that amounted to a total of 15 yards. And then in addition to that, we were also able to purchase woolly nylon thread, which is supposedly the best thread to use when it comes to making swimsuits and anything that has to do with this swimsuit material. And last but not least, we purchased a domain name for the website that we will be launching in the future. And then, as you can see, we have a remainder of $66, and this includes taxes, shipping, and any other additional costs that we would run into in the future.
So one of the most important aspects of our business is our fabric. For our swimwear, we only use e-cotton. E-cotton fabric is made from recycled business, has UV ray protection, is chlorine resistant, uses non-toxic bags, and has a special stretch element which provides extra durability and flexibility. Our current vendor is Solid Stone. They're located in Southern Virginia. They offer great options for sustainable fabrics, and even have an option to custom print the design on fabrics, something we hope to take advantage of in the future with them. With this fabric, and combining with an MVP pitch, we were able to create our first prototypes. In this process, we learned that the woolly nylon thread was not the best option for us, and we switched to universal, heavy-duty polyester thread provided by the EIC. We started this process, the customization process, by creating our own patterns through previous swimsuits and Erin and Will's measurements. This blue and white piece that you guys have here are made with Erin's measurements. And the pink bottoms that are shown up there are made with Noel's. We tested these 2 pieces in chlorine pools and the washing drying machine, and we are pleased to find that the colors bleed or fade, and the swimsuits remain unchanged by the conditions. We also learned in this process that we need to take more time during the summer to really research more on this process to slow down the time so that it saves us money, or speed up the time so it saves us money and the customer money. And we want to make sure that we have enough styles to provide for everyone. Styles that fit petite women and styles that fit bigger women. We want to make sure that everyone has a place where we go.
When we grow and it comes time to launch our swimsuits, we're going to need a way to brand our product. And in doing so, we have chosen aluminum metal, which is the most recycled metal, and we are going to laser print our logo into it, and then we're going to sew it on the back of our bottoms.
So unlike our competitors, Lagome is completely 100% eco-friendly, customizable. It donates to nonprofits by practicing what we preach, and we also have affordability. As you can see, our 2 top competitors are Land's End and Aerie, which both emphasize body positivity by offering a larger range of sizes and having more plus-size models, which we also hope to do in the future. And they also offer eco-friendly options, even though their companies aren't 100% eco-friendly like we are. Their price models are similar. Aerie offers bathing suits ranging from about $40 to $80, depending on what it is. We will offer about $70 to $80 with our customization, so it's you're getting more for your dollar with that. And Land's End is much more expensive, offering about like $120 per set. So we started our marketing process mainly over Instagram. Right now we have 123 followers, and that is made up of mostly young adults, high schoolers, our friends starting out. But we do hope to reach a more diverse range of people with Instagram promotions. So that is a service that Instagram offers that you do have to buy, but it's an algorithm that lets you reach people who search keywords in the Explore page, and we can reach them with certain hashtags. So if I put that I want to reach anyone who searches sustainability, women, body positivity, and eco-friendly practices, when you search that, we have a much higher likely chance of appearing on your Explore page if we purchase Instagram promotions. And we also hope to start a TikTok, and we are going to launch our website hopefully in September. We also purchased the domain name in February, so we have that ready, but once we launch our website with a website builder from GoDaddy, we hope to offer options where you can purchase all of our products on our website, have an about page, contact page, and offer options for our customers to donate to all the nonprofits that we recommend.
All right, so when looking into our future for our next steps, within the month of May, we hope to reach 300 followers on our Instagram. And also, Gracie has been working with 5 other ladies with their measurements and their sizes to produce some prototypes for our swimwear. And then, within the summer months of June and July, we plan on finishing these prototypes, and we also plan on maintaining a strong social media presence. And then, within the month of August, we plan on purchasing our LLC. And in addition to this, we are going to finalize our website. And currently, Gracie is the only one that's sewing. So we also need to hire 2 more workers so we can take that load off of her. And then within the month of September, we are finally going to be able to launch Lagome.
So our future for marketing, we hope to purchase the Preview app, which basically generates posts for us because me and Noelle will be at college, so we're not going to have a lot of time to spend on that. And Canvas is an app that just enhances Instagram posts, social media posts, whatever it is, to just appeal to our customers more. And our website costs are going to include a website builder offered by GoDaddy or any other services that we choose to get from them. So that's probably going to be a variable cost. And then Google Ads, which is where it's pretty much functions like the promotions from Instagram, where you put in a keyword in Google and then we can buy ads, so we appear at the top of the list. And then a domain name, which we need to renew every year, which is going to be lagomeswim.info. Okay.
So looking into our future of the process and our products, we definitely need a lot more to offer a lot of other customization in our swimsuit. We're looking to get some more fabric. These 3 colors have worked for us with prototyping, and we will continue to use this fabric over the summer to work with different styles and different sizes. We plan on ordering 7 other colors, 15 yards per color. We picked these colors because they went with our business, and because we know they stay in theme and in trend for the next 2 years because they're just solid colors, no patterns. With these 15 yards for 7 colors, we can make about 210 bathing suits, something we hope will reach. And then we're going to purchase sewing machines. Here at the EIC, there's 2 sewing machines. Only one works, and it's not specifically for us. We have to share it. So buying a sewing machine specifically for Lagome would really help us. The 2 other sewing machines will go to the 2 employees that we hire. We want to equip them with the right equipment to sew, and so that we're not paying them for the material, we're paying them for the time. The branding tags that Noelle talked about before sell a minimum of 100. $60 per tag, so about $6 for 100 of them. And then we need thread. We're going to repurchase universal heavy-duty polyester thread, this bigger school thread and specifically for our business. 3 packs of universal needles that work with the sewing machine, one to go with each machine, and then a serger. If you don't know what a serger is, it's similar to a sewing machine, but it's one of the highly recommended machines to use with every material and for swimsuits. Here at EIC, there's not a serger, so buying one specifically for our business, it really impacts the quality of our bathing suits and the time it takes to make them. And then cup inserts and underwire are a customization option that we want to offer for our bathing suits, something that allows for more support and just a style choice for our customer. Continuing on to more things, we have strap adjustments so that everyone can adjust the straps to their preferred liking. Rotary cutters and fabric scissors pretty much handle the same thing, but you use them for different things. We want to, again, equip our employees with the right tools. And then big cutting mat and small cutting mat, same thing. Equip them with the right tools to make their bathing suits. Plastic bag kind of takes from a bra, so that instead of it all being tied back like this blue bikini, we can have clasp. And then 3 walking foots, 1 for each machine. A walking foot is a specific part of the sewing machine that helps guide the fabric along. And it's really, really nice to use with silk material like ours. This brings us to a total of $2,486 or $89.16.
All right, so along with the production costs and the marketing costs, we also have a few additional costs, and this would consist of money for an LLC. And then once we grow, again, we're going to be shipping our product, so we will also need materials for that. So that would include bubble mailers, tissue paper, stickers, and then shipping labels. And then In addition to this, we will also be needing to hire as needed, as mentioned before. And we have $30 written in there because we plan on hiring 2 people, and for each swimsuit that's made, we'll pay them $15. So in total, this additional costs add up to around $700. And then when it comes time to sell our swimsuit, we will be selling them from a range of $70 to $80. And in doing so, our gross profit will be around 73%, which is about $53. And in doing so, we are going to be using about $23 to produce each swimsuit, but that $23 doesn't include the cost that Gracie mentioned just a minute ago, like adjustments for the straps for each customizable swimsuit, or like pads for the swimsuit, or clasps for the back, etc. So when you add up all of our costs, it's around $3,500. And then in addition to this, you see we have some leftover money, and that amounts to around $1,500. And this is called rainy day money, and this is just in case we run into like any unexpected purchases in the future that we need to make, and this also includes taxes and shipping.
Okay, well that's it. We would love for you guys to follow our Instagram, Lagom Swin, reach out to us on our email, and hopefully see our website coming soon. And thank you all for being here again. We would love to hear any questions that you'll have. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, just go for it.
That was great.
Thank you.
And you did a good job of focusing on the customer segments. And I wonder if you thought about this period over the summer as you prepare for kind of September, what you might do to focus on customers and kind of get them engaged in a bathing suit era, in a bathing suit time of year to kind of stimulate some interest as you get prepared to launch.
We've been growing our social media since the beginning of April, and we've reached, again, over 500 accounts through this. We've done little giveaways for discounts for when we launch, and we've done little interaction surveys and little interaction like Q&As and things like that we plan to continue over the summer. We have a lot of people interested in our product and business that would want to help, even if it is just for testing. So over the summer, we do plan to ask for more people to volunteer to get a bathing suit, either for free or they pay a little bit because we are making it specific to them, to help us realize how we need to do this customization process and go about it when we launch.
Thank you.
I'll go? Okay. Congratulations. Great job. I can tell you've been rehearsing, and that always comes across in these pitches, and I can tell there's a lot of hours behind on the rehearsing portion of this. Talk to me a little bit about, at the beginning of the presentation, you talked about women in Bangladesh, in other countries, and then I got lost about the connection between that and the rest of the brand. I thought you were going like the sourcing way, that you were going to source your material from there, but are they more of the women who are supported by the nonprofits that you're going to support, or talk about that?
So where we started was trying to create a business that didn't use fast fashion, and those companies like Shein or Cupshe, they used those like really cheap labor, and mainly Bangladesh and these third world countries. So we're trying to practice ethical labor practices, and that's why we're taking our labor here. And then those women, such as the nonprofit that Noelle mentioned, the
Bangladesh Center for Women's Solidarity.
Yes, we're also going to research more for that, but they're actually going to benefit from our ethical labor practices domestically.
Okay, all right.
It's very nice. Thank you so much. That was a question that I was going to have as well. Outside of website and social media sales, have you guys thought about additional avenues of sales for your product?
We've thought of manufacturing a large range of styles inside of this that we can put in storefronts and pop-up shops, and reaching out to stores in the Franklin and Brentwood area to maybe put our product line in there. We want to be doing this right when we launch, because we do want to mainly base our launch with customization. But when we grow, we do want to offer sizes and styles that would fit for everyone.
And those would be priced less because it would mainly just incorporate just the eco-friendly element and not have the customization. It's around $60.
That's very good. One other question I had was, how did you settle on the aluminum branding tags? I know that's something that's a little different than what you see in normal bathing suits where the branding is kind of on the inside.
So Dr. Pauls actually wanted us to look into sublimation, and in doing that research, I found that sublimation really only worked for printing patterns, and it wasn't really good on specific locations for logos. So we had to kind of find a different route. We couldn't, originally we wanted to embroider our logo, but of course our material is stretch and swimwear, and just want to have words that would kind of stuff our entire bottom and top. So Noelle actually has a bathing suit with her that has one of these like little plastic tags on them, and we wanted it to again be recycled, and aluminum metal is one of the most recycled metals. So using that, getting that laser logo or name on it really worked for us.
Great. And you made a nice connection to you did a great job at the front end talking about purpose and motivation and what you're about, and then talked about, so you put kind of purpose before products, which I think is terrific. And then you looped back to that around, this cutting out a pretty generous portion of your profits to give back. How'd you come up with that number? Why 20%?
I think it's because we're making a bigger gross profit than we anticipated, and because we are pricing it higher for the eco-friendly and customization, we thought that we do want to give back. That was always one thing we always wanted to do no matter where our business took us, we wanted to give back. And seeing that our gross profit margin was higher than expected, we thought we'd give back through that, and that's where we got the 20% from.
I know we're probably running out of time, but I have one recommendation, one question. The recommendation is towards the end, when you're talking about the unit pricing, the slide did not correspond with what you were saying, and that's a very important slide. Like having visually, this is what the price would be, the unit price would be, and this is my unit cost, and this is how much. Like you talked about it, you covered it well. It just the numbers on the screen did not match that. So just make sure you include that slide. That's for those of us that are visual. That's a recommendation. Curious about one of your value propositions. You said it's affordability, and yet the pricing. And so I want to hear about why affordability. It seems like this is a very high value add proposition. Like what you're doing, you're giving money away. You're supporting segments of population. You're competing with some high price brands. Why does it have to be affordable? Why not a higher price point?
So there's two reasons. One, which is more financial, which is when we did our serviceable addressable market. Whenever we raised the price, we had a lot less revenue that we would make. And since we are a small company, we're trying to grow a lot. We just want to see more revenue in that first year. So we may increase it later if after the summer and we do more testing and just experiment more. And the other reason is that, our purpose. So we mainly buy from thrift stores, and our high school friends are really attracted to Shein and those fast fashion companies, and that's why we originally wanted to have ethical labor practices in our company to compete with that. So if we're really high end and we have really high prices, then I feel like that would kind of deviate from being a direct competitor to those fast fashion companies. So, yeah.
Our target market is also young women and teens and older women. And we want it to be affordable for everyone in this segment instead of offering different sizes depending on your age, because that's just, it could get too chaotic. So we wanted it to be affordable for teens our age and women in their 50s. So that's where we came up with that price.
10 seconds. If you had the money, could you go to market faster than you're anticipating?
We hope so.
Yes, I think so.
The reason that we planned this launch in September is because it's 1 month before the fall break in Williamson County. Usually girls and women buy their swimsuits at least 1 month in advance, and if we get those young teens and women buying our swimsuits before fall break, we'll get them back for spring break in the spring semester.
But of course, it would be much preferable to do it during the summer when there's just such a high volume of people buying swimsuits. So yes, we definitely would. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Legume, I would be remiss. Miss Julie Danielson, will you please stand up? This is their mentor. Give her a round of applause for this guidance. Phenomenal job. Thank you very much. All right, for those in the audience that do not know, what we're doing today, we're giving away $5,000. This is what these groups are competing for. These judges have a tough job. We're going to deliberate after everybody goes through their pitch to see what the judges come up with. So we're going to take just a short break to reset for the next group.
Next presenters, Harpeth Valley Vintage is a student-run business out of the EIC specializes in the revival and reuse of vintage materials. With the help of mentors, teachers, and benefactors, HVV has been able to develop and foster their skills of woodworking, metalworking, and general craftsmanship. HVV has been in the program since its inception with plans to continue the business into the next year. They are founded on the basic but meaningful principles of respect, honesty, and creativity towards our customers and our products. They offer a high-quality housewares at reasonable prices because they believe that everyone should be able to live in style. Welcome, HVV.
Good afternoon, judges. Glad you could make it. I'm Dotson Averett.
And I'm Patrick Paneer.
Is he gonna?
It's not going to the next slide.
The clicker should go here. Aiming like this. Not working. I got it.
There we go.
There we go.
I got it.
So we both started last year in the initial run of the EIC. We have been in it 2 years now with plans to continue it next year. We both have specific skills that made us good for this business. He does blacksmithing. I do woodworking and metal casting. And so that's our credentials. So the problem we ran into is that everybody knows if someone slaps the word vintage, antique on anything, price goes way up. So that's one of the problems we wanted to address. We also wanted to address that a lot of the options people have are either low quality or they're high quality with those crazy price points. People also don't have variation. Different things might not fit with certain people, but options are very limited. So we address this problem by creating a product line that stresses numerous different patterns and the natural flow of woods and different colors of resins that you'll see later, that we wanted to address all the problems by creating products that people would be proud to have and products that can kind of show people's individuality.
Just click when you want it to go.
Whoops. All right. So to start out today, we're going to talk about a little bit about our products. We're making resin cutting boards. Patrick's going to show you. To produce these cutting boards that we're making currently as our product, there's two different ways we could go about this. We're using a wood mold. It sets in there like that, and we pour our resin into that along with the wood. To make that, it uses tape, plywood, screws, and caulk to all seal it together and come together. Right now, we're getting one use out of that board to make one, or we're using one mold to make one board. We are looking to purchase a silicone mold. This would allow us to make two boards at the same time, and we'll be able to get infinite amount of uses out of that one mold. And then to break even with the pricing that we're using for these, that we have set for these cutting boards, it'd end up being 11 boards.
It's all right. It's jumpy. It's not you, Patrick. It's the clicker.
So in Tennessee, there are 7 million people living within Tennessee. With our age group from 22 to 65, we found that 8,400 people, or 84,000, let me rephrase that, 840,000 people within Tennessee are within our grade age group that we are trying to address, our total addressable market. Now, we obviously can't reach 840,000 people, and so we are now targeting people within the greater Nashville area who own a house, who are making an income over $100,000, who have a steady income, and who are interested in home decor products such as ours. And with that, we're addressing around 1,300 people.
So even that isn't quite reasonable. So we based our market share based on physically what we think we could make and with the readily available market that's already willing to buy. So we narrowed that down to around 640 people, and we have a 9% conversion rate, which means we feel we can reach 9% of all customers that see our advertisements or are inclined to purchase from us. And that leaves us with about 55 people that we can address in our first year. That's our, yeah. Sorry.
All right, so our competitors. So we have an indirect and a direct customer competitors. Right now, Goodwood Nashville and Woodstock Vintage Lumber, those are our two indirect. Those two companies, they either supply old vintage lumber or they make very, very high quality furniture that is considered vintage. With direct competitors, Etsy, Amazon, and Hardwood Lumber Company. With Etsy and Amazon, the company itself are not the competitors, but it's the sellers on those two websites. With Etsy and Amazon, there's individual sellers that will compete with us with our home decor business, and they kind of do similar things with us. With Hardwood Lumber Company, they also are selling resin and cutting boards. They also do other bigger projects like furniture.
Okay, so from our MVP, well, first of all, let me tell you a story. So we started this business just kind of not really knowing much about the market, but we thought, hey, this might be something that we might be interested in because we have the skills. So we started off with, Dotson will show you, we started off with this blue board with just some cedar that we had, and we just tried a color that we knew was popular, that we've seen all across social media, the internet. So we just wanted to kind of follow a market that already existed. That is our first board. It's not the best, but we wanted to improve upon that. So we sent out our survey. And instead of an MVP, we had originally planned to sell a certain amount of boards. Instead, we transitioned to a survey showing them the boards, which also worked better because of the onset of the pandemic. Didn't have to go out and give things to people. From that, we found that people need variation. A lot of people found that it might be nice, but they wanted more. They wanted different colors, different woods. They found that they wanted to know the size. We did include the size later on, and they found that a lot more helpful. One thing we needed to stress that didn't seem to be obvious to a lot of people is that we are actually making the boards. I don't know what else we'd be doing, but a lot of people didn't realize that we are actually making them. And then a lot of people wanted high quality durability. That's a given. If you're going to be cutting food on it, you need it durable. And then of course quality, you want high quality. So we improved upon it with other boards. We tried new woods, that is maple, I believe, and that turned out a lot better. We tried new things. We went a lot finer grit sandpaper to increase the quality and durability of the boards. And that's why you see that one is a lot shinier and a lot smoother. Another thing that concerned a lot of people was the epoxy resin itself. People were concerned that they were cutting food on a toxic substance. So we actually looked it up and we found the exact
regulation
from the FDA's list of many lists of regulations, and found the exact point that said that the resin we are using is, sorry. The resin we are using is completely FDA approved, non-toxic once cured. And then of course, like I said, we went to finer grits, increased quality, and we only buy wood and use wood that is the highest quality we try to reduce the amount of knots, cracks, splits. From that MVP, we did get our asked amount of $450. We do have about $240 remaining from that, and that is due to, of course, everything is, but it's due to the pandemic because we were initially planning, we had it all planned out, and we had $300 saved for our LLC to start our business. But they stressed that instead of just jumping into it without business experience, they stressed that we did not have to do that. So we started breaking into that, and we bought a branding iron for our business with that. And from there, we just completely went to new boards. We kept doing surveys. We found that he'll pass out the rest of them, but we've made a lot more products since then. And the first one he'll give you is actually one of our learning experiences. It was a horrible failure. We made it way too thin, and we tried to fix it by covering the whole thing with resin, which in theory was a good idea. In reality, it was not. So overall, we addressed most problems that we found.
And I'll pass these. So our ability to generate revenue. So with our marketing, right now we're not currently doing any marketing. We don't want to spend too much on marketing right now because, first of all, we're not ready to exactly jump into producing a large scale. Also we just can't produce the demand right now. There's a high demand, and we can't produce. With our channels, when we are ready to introduce ourselves to the market, we're planning on doing Instagram and Etsy and Facebook. Our sales plan, we are a transaction-based company. It means, we sell a board, we get a certain percentage back from our price that we had it at, instead of like a subscription base where you pay a monthly fee to the company. With streamlining, we're trying to drive our costs down to produce these boards. That was I talked about that earlier. Versus with the wood mold versus a silicone mold. Silicone mold would greatly lower our cost after we have made our money back from the first 11 boards. And then with customer advertising, that kind of goes along with channels. Our customers are going to buy boards. They're going to go home, tell their friends and family about our business.
So our financial projections, as he said, we are a transaction-based business, and we fall under the cost-plus pricing strategy. So that is just whatever cost it costs us to make it, plus whatever percentage of a viable profit that we want to add on to that. So in your investor packets, it has the revenue broken down into our two profits alone. But as you can see, we have a total profit year one of $2,200, and we found information, reliable information, that said the cutting board and kitchenware department of the market is expected to grow 14.1% in the next 2 years. So we followed that for our year two, getting us around 2,500, and a slightly smaller percent because just variation, we didn't think it would grow much more. And average profit is not very useful. I just put that up there to show you because something could be 90% and 10. But we have about 45% profit on our resin boards and about 56% profit on our wood boards. So we found that is a viable percentage of profit.
So our capital requested, we're asking for $4,000. The $4,000 would go towards our startup cost. We need to purchase our LLC, that's $300. We need to fund a website, and our domain and our mold, that silicone mold that I showed you earlier, and then with the continuation costs, those would be wood, resin, all the things that go into our cutting boards. This would also do things like purchase new tools for us, which we'll talk about more on the next slide, and then also a 20% tax, not tax, but 20% of a
estimated shipping and tax.
Shipping and tax, just fluctuated prices.
So, as he said, we'd talk about it more. So we broke what we are using the continuation cost into 3 tiers. Tier 1 we define as necessity. If we get money, these are things that we need to continue our business. We want to continue, if you notice on the resin boards, they have a opaque or a shininess to them. If we used liquid ones, it would just be a solid color. So we want to do that because that we found is a viable option to expand our product line. Clamps we need for the resin molds. We use too many clamps, but it helps quite a bit. And then tier 2 is more of tier 2 and tier 3 are not. Tier 1 is necessity, but 2 and 3 are more interchangeable. Those are whichever kind of happens first in the business. Tier 2 is upgrading or improving tools that we currently have that we will need better ones that will definitely increase our productivity. And tier 3 is for in the future of expanding our product baseline. And as you can see there's a furnace. We do plan to do some casting and metalworking, as we mentioned in the beginning. He'll pass those out. You can kind of see what we plan to do. But a lot of tier 2 are products, as I said, that we may have but need improvement, or things that just generally need replacing because the flood we had recently took out quite a bit of our inventory.
Yeah, I had a lot of tools that we were currently using at my little workshop that I have at my house, but the flood took out a lot of those tools that we were using.
Thank you all for coming. You can take a look at those, but thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and start questions. So obviously the name of a word in your name is vintage, and a lot of these products are made by you. So where's the vintage part of your product?
So a lot of these materials that we're using are vintage. The wood that we're currently using right now is from my farm. This farm was, a lot of this wood that we're using was cut by my grandparents probably between 50 to 70 years ago. So it's been sitting around. It's been, it's old barn wood.
That's amazing. I would highly recommend adding that to your story, the story of the farm and the age of the wood.
Yeah, I'll jump a couple of things. One, I do branding work and I never touch an actual brand, so that was fun. But I could, just building on that point, you guys look the part, your story, I think, and I remember meeting you originally because I don't also think I ever met a blacksmith. So I think really infusing both of your personal stories into this and why this and everything, because it seems like you're going to be producing at a small scale. So the more it feels like it's from you, that vintageness, the story that I have something special that was crafted by craftsmen, I think that will not only help you differentiate, it'll help make a connection between the potential consumer, the customer, and you as the makers. So I'd say just lean into that. There is a question baked in here. Why the cutting boards? I mean, it seems like you could make between the two of you about anything. So what made you zero in on those?
So we wanted to start out on a smaller scale, first of all. We have actually thought about larger items, And we do have these wood rounds that are about this big from trees that we just we just have these large wood rounds that we were going to make tables out of. So we do have the plan to increase, but we just wanted to start on a small scale. And with these boards, we can fine-tune our finishing abilities and our minor abilities that we will really need with larger products.
Let's see. So a couple of thoughts. One is I would recommend that you tell me exactly what you do early in your presentation, right? Because you look great. You come on stage, you're like, man, I'm gonna hear this great story, and it's like 2 minutes before you tell me what you do, and the name, because you use the name Vintage. So I'm looking over here. I'm trying to look at what is it that they're gonna show me that they sell. I would recommend that in that first 15 seconds that you're talking to your audience, you say, we are whatever the name of the company is, and this is what we do, right? And so then my mind can go to focus, okay, then I can start, because it really took me a little while to figure out what you did, and may have missed some important conversations or important messages that you were giving me in those first couple of minutes while I'm like, okay, so what do they do? So one recommendation. The other question that I have for you is this notion of your target market, right? Because your kind of your unique selling proposition is your craftsmanship, right? So it doesn't really matter that there are 7 million people in Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. Like that doesn't really connect to the fact that you are able to sell 50 or 100 boards or tables or whatever you're doing, right? So that just feels like it's like that data doesn't really connect to the size of the market, right? And so what I would say is you can build a story really compelling that you can get out there, you can make 20 boards, go out and in one distribution channel sell them like overnight, because the story that you have, your personal craftsmanship, the story of your grandparents, the wood. Let me tell you about the shed that we turned on. Like that's really the compelling part of your business, right? There is a question. Pricing. Talk to me about pricing.
So right now pricing, we have the wood boards priced at $35 and the resin boards priced at $40.
And so just so that I follow, when you talk about your total revenue for the year one, and then growing to year two, there is how do you build that revenue model? Is it just X number of boards of the small boards times the price plus? Like how do you build your total revenue model?
So we did that based on, we already have had numerous customers from the survey saying that they would buy one of our products right now. So we just took pretty much what we could physically make with the tools we have and cross-referenced it with how many people are willing to purchase one right now for the prices we have. And we kind of used that to make a reasonable, educated guess for how many we could sell each month and added those up with the price. And now that we are talking about the price, in the future, like we said, we plan to do more blacksmithing and casting things as well, but we also plan to offer a customization option where you could choose the price of the wood, the color of the resin, and that will vary in the future, so prices will change depending on the wood, because also right now wood prices are soaring. But
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Harpeth Valley Vintage.
Sorry, did you have a question?
Is Mr. Jim Capolino? Please stand up. Their mentor. Thank you so much. Great job.
Dr. Qualls, she had a question.
I do
I
have
completely
one
missed
more
that.
question. So you broke your costs down into tiers. Do you have estimated costs of each tier?
We do. We will have to show you on another sheet that we have.
it is specifically broken down by each product in your investor packet.
Okay.
Any others? Sweet.
Missed it, sorry.
Thank you.
Great job. One thing I do want to say, Wilco Tutoring, you're on deck. One thing I want to say about these gentlemen right here. 0 period. They're here at 7 a.m. And to watch them work physically, get out here and cut the boards and do those things and sweat, watching over the resin molds and everything, it's pretty phenomenal. So hats off to you guys on what you've done.
All right, here comes up our third team, Wilco Tutoring. Wilco Tutoring was founded in August of last year out of a desire to adapt tutoring to a new, challenging pandemic-era landscape. Wilco Tutoring pairs students in need of a little more preparation for that big test or want a deeper understanding of the content with talented high school-aged tutors who have been in the trenches of the most difficult classes at their respective schools. Nearly 40 tutoring sessions later, they're in the process of shaping Wilco Tutoring into a sustainable business. Everybody welcome Wilco Tutoring.
Hi, that's really loud. Hi, my name is Nelson Rose. I'm a senior at Brentwood High, but my last day of high school was actually today, so I think I would rather describe myself as a rising freshman at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas.
Hi, I'm Jacob Stromash. I'm a senior at Independence High School, and I'll be attending the University of Tennessee Knoxville next year.
Hi, I'm Annalore Morales, and I'm a junior at Ravenwood High School.
And let's all take a second to reflect on this year. Other than the tragic loss of life, let's think about what made it so hard. To me, that answer is the lack of human connection. This is manifested all throughout our lives, whether it's not seeing, your loved ones on Christmas or Thanksgiving, or in the classroom, where we saw a need for tutoring because students, especially those in virtual programs, but also those in remote learning, felt that their teachers were not giving them enough personal attention. That was the mission behind Wilco Tutoring's foundation, and we seek to turn it into a sustainable business. But to give us a better idea, to give you a better idea of what Wilco Tutoring does, we'd like to cue up a video from News Channel 4, which was about our business. They did a story about our business in February. If you just click that picture of us there, that'll take you to it. And of course, we have to support lowermybills.com here as well, little ad beforehand.
If a student wants a perfect ACT score,
yeah, let's go over it.
why not learn from someone who's done just that?
And so what I saw is the test tube.
Like Brentwood senior Nelson Rose.
I got a 36 on this specific subsection and a 36 overall.
And
No, I am not going to go to Harvard.
while he's not set on the Ivies, he's using his knowledge to power up other students, tutoring them through Wilco Tutoring.
In remote class, you weren't getting as much one-on-one instruction as you could have otherwise.
We're more like in the background. I think Nelson's kind of our face.
It's a business Nelson, Anna Laura, and Jacob thought of this year when classes went online. For $30 an hour, 13 students tutor other students in all subjects from elementary to high school.
We're connecting high school students that are gifted in academics and connecting them with students that may need a little extra help.
All three attend different high schools in Williamson County.
These students are excelling way more than most at this point in time.
But each morning they meet here at the district's Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center to work on a business that's exploded.
In like 2 months, we got like 20 customers, and that was like insane to us.
It's tutoring by students who understand students.
I know that Nihar is a logical thinker, right? I can tailor that to him.
And take it from someone who's been there, done that. Sulek News 4 Nashville.
We hope that gave you a little bit better of a picture of what we've been doing this year. The student I was tutoring there, Nihar, went on to earn a 35 on his ACT. Nihar, great student, a friend of mine, and a customer of Wilco Tutoring. But now I'd like to move on to talking about some of the competition and our advantages over them. The first form of competition is the established national chains. There's a chain called Mathnasium and another called Kumon, which are all bigger national chains who have two disadvantages when compared to Wilco Tutoring. The first is cost. I called into Mathnasium as a prospective client, a 40-year-old man who was preparing his 7th grade son for his pre-calculus exam. They would charge me $80 an hour for a session at Mathnasium. However, at Wilco Tutoring, it is just $30 an hour for an online tutoring session, and new this year, it is $40 an hour for an in-person tutoring session. That is much cheaper. I'm not great at math, but I know half the price for a good product is what you want. The second is local knowledge. The tutors at Mathnasium are college students from Vanderbilt and Belmont. However, ours tutors are high school students from Williamson County. They know these classes because they have been in the trenches. They've had the same teachers. They might have even worked on the same worksheet. So when you have that kind of local knowledge of the school's curriculum, you have a much better chance at getting that grade you want or understanding the concept and tailoring it to their teacher and their knowledge better. Another form of competition that we have is something that we call the neighborhood tutors. This would be like a woman in your neighborhood, for instance, that you would have to, schedule a session with. We have two primary advantages here as well. The first is visibility. If you'd like, you can go to our website right now, Wilco, W-I-C-L-O, tutoring.com. It is so easy to share our website and recommend us to a friend. You don't have to text anyone. You can see everything about our website immediately. The second is ease of scheduling. On our website, we have an automatic scheduling program. If you just go through the steps, it takes 4 clicks to schedule a tutoring session with Wilco Tutoring, as opposed to a woman in your neighborhood who you would have to text and set up a time and get a Zoom link and do all sorts of complicated processes, as opposed to our website, which just takes 4 clicks. Now let's turn it over to Jacob to talk about some of our early results.
So moving on to some of our early results. Since November, we've taken in $1,110 of revenue and $508 of profit. These are some very encouraging figures, as we've managed to make up most of our original startup costs, and we've beyond exceeded most of our original expectations, and we're hoping to bring this type of revenue monthly next year. Also, more than 50% of our customers have scheduled multiple sessions, and this is great for 2 reasons. Obviously, this means the customers are enjoying the sessions and want to come back for more. They're getting something out of it, and we can build sort of a more personal relationship, get some more connection there between the tutor and the student, as that's kind of been lacking this year with online classes. There's a lot less personal attention and personal help if needed. So these sessions kind of make up for that to help them with any problems. Maybe there's one little thing that they need help with rather than the whole class. That we can attend to that over several sessions, and we hope to further their knowledge as a whole rather than just learn to one test.
Thanks, Jacob. So for our financial projections for the 2021 to 2022 school year, we're expecting explosive growth due to 2 main factors, one of them being that we're adding the in-person tutoring sessions, which so many parents have requested like this past year, and obviously we couldn't because of the pandemic, but we're hoping to do that next year. And number 2, we know a lot of students didn't do their best this year in school due to switching from remote learning to in-person learning, and a lot of parents and students are going to be looking to tutoring to make this next school year a rebound year. And here we have 2 cost of goods sold models. Right over here we have our current online sessions. So we charge $30 an hour, and we pay our tutors $16 an hour, which is a very generous compensation. And from that, we make around $6.80 in profit, and we set aside $6 for taxes because one of our main goals has always been to not commit tax fraud, which we haven't yet. So over here we have next year our in-person sessions, which is going to be $40 per session, and that will be a little more because our tutors will be driving to these in-person sessions, and gas is expensive, especially right now. And we set aside $8 for taxes for that, and around $10.80 in profit. And this is our projections for this year, or like past and next year. And as you can see, it does fluctuate seasonally. So for example, here, we're not expecting any sessions in the summer. But in December, April, and May, we're expecting many sessions to be booked because those are exam seasons, which is when a lot of students and parents do want tutoring sessions. And here is just a summary, like an overview of our past profit and projected revenue. So as you can see, it is increasing, and we're expecting $5,000 in projected revenue and $1,300 in profit from that for the next school year. And our team next year will be changing a little bit, so say goodbye to these faces. You won't see them next year. So Jacob and Nelson will be leaving. I, of course, will be staying. And next year, we're planning to say hi to Ellie and Aiden, who are both juniors at Page High School right now. And I think having two fresh minds come to Wilco Tutoring will be a very good thing for our business. As for tutors, a lot of them will be leaving because most of our tutors this year are seniors. And they will be attending prestigious colleges such as Vanderbilt, UCLA, and Trinity. And two of our current tutors will be staying. I currently have 4 tutors hired for next year, but over the summer, Nelson, Jacob, and I are going to be looking for tutors at all Williamson County schools.
So to discuss what we're asking for from you, the investor, we're asking for $1,000 total. What are we going to use this for? $300 of it will go to the LLC. Our customers want to make sure that our product is credible, and I don't blame them. An LLC helps to establish our business's credibility and showing them that this is not just a ragtag operation, this is a legal, legitimate business, along with the fact that it decreases the liability of the partners in the corporation, decreasing our risk of getting sued, which is another goal. None of us have sued each other yet. Isn't that crazy? Then we also want to spend $220 on Facebook ads. The point of this is that our customer base, which is parents in the Williamson County area, are very, very active on Facebook. My own mom is proof. But they are very likely to click through on Facebook ads, and we'd like to do a trial run with $220 of investor capital. The last prong of our capital ask is $480 for Squarespace upgrades. We hope to upgrade to the enterprise plan, which will give us a lot of new bells and whistles to attach to our website and give us a lot more flexibility with the scheduling program as well. So you have more options when you schedule sessions and even more flexibility in scheduling, which will be great for our customers and great for our tutors. Now, I'm sure that you do, but I'd like to ask, do you, the investors, have any questions?
So that was great. As you bring on new, kind of new folks, have you built out a training program for kind of quality control? How do you vet and then train people in so that you know what you're delivering is kind of meeting your standard?
Yeah, of course. So last year, we actually just had like mini Zoom session interviews with them. But we know our classmates. So we chose people that we knew excel in academics, had over a 32 on their ACT, and that was our main interview. And then the second part was, can you tutor? Because a lot of kids are smart, they have 36s, but they can't tutor. Tutoring is a skill that you have to have. So we made sure that all our tutors had that skill, and we will be doing interviews over Zoom and in person, hopefully, for the in-person sessions next school year.
And to add to that, we also asked some of our teachers at our high schools which students would be the best in that particular discipline. For instance, we have a chemistry teacher who's very respected at our school, and I went to him and asked him which students he thought would be the best to tutor chemistry.
Tell me about the name, real quick.
Wilco Tutoring is our name. It's short for Williamson County, but we also kind of think that it can be, short for other things, like will cooperate, It's short for a lot of different things. We just think it's a great name because it's pretty amorphous, but if you live in Williamson County, you know that our product is coming from you, or is coming to you from local people in Wilco, as we call it. So that's the reason for the name.
I'm not from Williamson County, so it took me a minute.
All right.
Great name, though. Great name.
All good. Appreciate it.
I don't really have any questions. I think your enthusiasm is amazing. I really like that you broke down the ways to connect with you into very simple steps. I think that's huge for marketing. They say 3-4 steps is really ideal for that, and you did that. So congratulations. This was great.
Well, investors, thank you so much. We wouldn't be standing on this stage today without our mentor, Jeremy Sartain. He is such a great mentor. He's really helped us with the little things. He's an IP lawyer, so he's definitely really good at that. But Jeremy, thank you so much for working with us this year.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Being that he's a lawyer, he'll and maybe this is a question for him. Models, I love the energy and I love the simplicity of the model. When I can understand and see it from A to Z in very easily, that usually means it works. Of course, one of your big threats is I use you, I like the tutor, and then I go behind and do a side deal with the tutor. How do you prevent that from happening?
Sure. So
what steps can you take to?
So first, we try to have all of our tutors have non-competes with us. We don't really sign that. We didn't sign them to contracts this year, but it's something that we're going to probably look into next year and have a non-compete clause in the contract where they would be breaching that if they're going into competition with us. And then the second prong of that is that it's just so much easier for a customer to go through Wilco Tutoring System. I would encourage all of you to go to our website and try to schedule a session for yourself, because it's literally just 4 clicks of a button to schedule a session as opposed to an entire conversation with a tutor. When you can click 4 buttons, save yourself the time, save yourself the stress, you're always going to prefer going to Wilco Tutoring as opposed to having conversations with that tutor. Not that our tutors aren't personable, it's just a lot easier to click buttons instead of talk to people.
Great. Do you have 10 seconds for a recommendation? I love it. I really don't. It's on the front end though. I would say because it took 3-4 minutes that you were the presence talking. Find moments to include them before their turn comes up.
Of course.
So that we don't have to wait 3-4 minutes to hear from them. Yeah. They don't have to say much. Just find some moments to pull so that we hear from all of you within the next couple of minutes.
Great.
The first couple of minutes.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other questions, judges?
Ladies and gentlemen, Wilco Tutoring. These 3 are another product of the 0 period. Jeremy, please stand up once again. You got to be proud, man. You got to be proud. Congratulations. Great job. Nelson Rose is a legend. This group's going to be legendary here forever. I would say they probably are our first viable group that came through, and they will forever be enshrined here at the EIC.
Oakley & Sage is a company designed to make busy lives easier. Creating a pocketed scrunchie will not only keep your valuables safe, but also minimize bulky storage. By using water-wicking fabric, they hope to target teens and young women with an active lifestyle. Guys, give it up for Oakley & Sage.
Thank you. Hey y'all, my name's Carson and I am in charge of everything operations, and this is my partner Eleanor.
Hi.
She is director of everything financials, and we are Oakley & Sage. Okay, so have you ever gone to the gym and you just forgot about your key and you don't know where to put it, especially now that COVID's here? Most gyms, they do not have lockers available to everybody, and you don't know where to put your little earrings or your key, or maybe you're on the run and all you need is a credit card and you're just trying to go to the store in and out, but you have a bulky purse. Guys, I know your wife probably has you carrying that bulky purse. Women, the bulky purse. And so it's a little difficult that sometimes. So we have come up with a scrunchie that has a little pocket, and inside your pocket you can put your card, maybe your keys, anything. So the scrunchie has a durable sweat wicking fabric, so any of you active in the gym, it's not gonna get all gross and disgusting. We also have a little 4-inch pocket, which if you open it up, you can hold all of your storage. And then we also have 2 elastics in right now, but we would like to cut down on that and use 1 elastic to stay sturdy, keep it in your hair, keep it on your wrist. You're not gonna lose it. And so our fabric, which we love right now, but we would like to go into something that's more like waterproof and water resistant. So if you wanna go swimming for any of our swimmers or just hardcore workout enthusiasts. And so our dimensions right now are 4 and 5 inches for the width, but we would like to cut that down to 2 and 3 inches because bulky, we would like to cut down on all the bulky stuff, yes. And our zipper is currently 4 inches, which we would like to cut down to 3 inches. Also, our customer will be receiving a little star bag. Inside the bag, we'll have a little business card so they can associate us with our company. It will also have our little logo on a sticker and a little complimentary sticker.
Creating our product was half of the work. Trying to figure out who we could market to was the other half. We wanted to start, worldwide, but as a startup business, that wasn't something that we could do. So we found out that young adults were our target market. 21 million young adults are in the US, and between the two of us, we did around 125 customer interviews, whether that be Google Forms, one-on-one, just through the internet. That was really important because that helped us find out that women, young women especially, were really who we were trying to target with this product. So we really wanted to try to sell 2 scrunchies to every single woman at the price of $8.50. And it costs us around $5.46 to make. And so that helps our revenue become $42 million. That was still really too wide for us. We wanted to start statewide, especially as a startup business. So we found that out of that $2 million, that 7% of women are in Nashville, which is around 175,000. That was, again, still too wide for us. So we found that in our own county, Williamson County, 24% of women are in this county that match our target market, which is around 42,000 women, which really helps our revenue, again, if they're buying 2 scrunchies at the unit price of $8.50. That helps our revenue become $1 million. That was another part, that was one of the parts. Another part to help our company become successful was really finding our competitors to see if we could even get this business off of the ground. 3 of our largest competitors were Lululemon, Etsy, and Amazon. Those are pretty big names in the industry. Lululemon is a really big athletic brand. I'm pretty sure all of us women know that. Especially men. They also carry products that cater to men. They were great at the price. They matched us in price and that really great nylon fabric that we are hoping to carry soon. But they don't have that pocket, which is really what we hope to put in that scrunchie. Amazon was great at that pocket and that nylon. However, they almost doubled in price, which is not what we wanted to give our customers in the lengths of customer satisfaction. And Etsy was great. They matched us in price and in that pocket. However, the fabric was like a suede, velour, velvet type fabric, which did not cater to the athletic lifestyle persona that we were really trying to cater to. For marketing, we currently have a Facebook and Instagram. It's under Oakley and Sage Co. We are really trying to reach out into further social media, such as Twitter. It's super easy. You can just tweet, simple. So when we get excited, our customers get excited. Super easy to keep them updated on what we're doing. We have business cards, which is super easy to just hand out to people. And we're also trying to reach out to TikTok, which is a 15-second video making app that many teens or our target market are currently on. For the future of Oakley and Sage, we are hoping to finalize a new prototype with the adjustments that we are currently making. We want to keep advertising our business, get our name out there, get it common, get people knowing OMG, Oakley and Sage pocketed scrunchie. Of course, Orange Theory, our mentor Doug gave us the idea of Orange Theory, really just trying to market our product to people with that athletics lifestyle, let them try our product in the gym, tell us, give us our feedback. If they like it, they can keep it. Just really trying to get our name out to that, our Williamson County surrounding area, to people with that athletic lifestyle that we're trying to target. Of course, the creation of our website. We know that not every young adult is prevalent on apps such as Instagram or Facebook, and so having a website where they can access us and keep a hold of really what we're doing with a business is really important for us. And of course, we did have another member, Lindsay. She is going to the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and we are so proud of her. But Carson and I are going to be continuing to EIC 2.
Yes, we are asking for $5,000 for the startup of our company. Using this money, we would like to pay some more employees because obviously we cannot do everything on our own. We would also like to get a patent and our name trademarked because this is a company that we would like to branch out and have more products than just a scrunchie for people who don't have any hair, so they don't have any uses for a scrunchie. Also to make all the adjustments that we need, so getting new fabric and getting a smaller zipper. We actually had $300 at our first pitch, which we ended with 140 about left in our little account. We would also like to get a new sewing machine. We have one upstairs, but if we're gonna have more employees, it'd be nice to have another machine. a reflective strip. So everybody does different sports, so everybody needs something to cater towards them. Personally, Eleanor does volleyball, and I've been cheering. So we both know that something that would be made for her might not be great for me. So a reflective strip would be great for a little scrunchie if somebody's going out for a run, and just be very personal to the person. Yes, so thank you so much for being here, and any questions? Yo, am I off to talking?
So I was in your MVP pitch. I remember you guys for that. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see you growing to this point. So the bag has kind of branded materials in it. Is there branding on the actual scrunchie?
So currently there's nothing on the actual scrunchie. We are looking into getting like a little tag or something placed on the inside so that our customers will be able to like recognize the brand and be like, that is Oakley and Sage.
Yeah, okay. And then I have one other question, comment/question. That's like our thing, comment/question. So the Orange Theory caught my ear because it seems like they're kind of there. If you look at Orange Theory, Iron Tribe, like all of these gyms that I think probably fit your demographic. I wonder if you could also think about, or have you thought about, not just using them as distribution points, but also as branded opportunities that, you know, an Iron Tribe branded or an Orange Theory branded version of this, that they might be more willing to kind of sell into or perhaps even purchase from you.
We have not thought about that, but that is a great way to get our brand out there.
Thank you.
I was going to suggest the same thing about, obviously it's nice to see your name on a product, but sometimes in some products, and especially with specific demographics or specific groups of people, leaving that out and branding the business you want to connect with is another opportunity to grow businesses. So you stole my question. So I saw a little bit, I guess. Did we miss the product cost and the profit margin? Did I miss that?
That's on the funding page of your investor packet. The profit margin, I believe, it's around 33%. We create the product for around $346, and we sell it for $850. So the profit margin is around 33%. Okay.
So you both stole my comments and questions, but which tells you something, like the notion of branding it under the particular gym is something that I registered as well, and so there may be something there, right? Like that, because all of a sudden they could be like, all right, we need 1,000 of them to distribute to all of our new members, in January when everybody signs up or what have you. So I think there's something there. I love the competitive analysis grid that you did. When you do those, obviously just to hear and you say and articulate the differences on each one, it really forces you to hone in on what you do really well and how do you want to position it. And so it's always a really good exercise, and you did that well. The slide with the money. Because some of your audience, especially if you're pitching for money, that's where they're going to go. All right, I want to know how much does it cost you to make. You said it, right? But I want to see the slide. I want to see the numbers and the profit margin. So make sure you include that slide. I like it. I could totally see, as you were describing, I could totally see my daughter and my wife both being your customers.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Oakley and Sage.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll take about, hey, before I'll be remiss, Doug Anderson, mentor. Please give it up for Doug. Thank you so much, Doug, for your efforts.
Oh, I am so proud and so thrilled with these kids. So they have done a really great job. So I'm thrilled that y'all are here to witness all of this. All right, for our fifth and final group, this is Kids Create Fun Crate. Kid Create Fun Crate provide kids aged 4 to 12-year-olds with entertainment and the opportunity to explore their artistic side. Each box includes 6 to 8 crafts designed based on a variety of themes ranging from safari to Christmas. They've been in the market for 8 months and sold 190 crates. I'm sorry, it's an increase. changed 216 crates, with a 90% of their sales being personally delivered to the greater Franklin area. Everybody give it up for Kids Create Fun Crate.
Hi, my name is Grace Simmons.
I'm Victoria Ferrari.
And I'm Avery Wismar. And we are Kids Create Fun Crate. We have sold 216 crates in an 8-month time span with a revenue of $6,360. So my freshman year of high school, I was raising money to go on an international mission trip with Justice and Mercy International to the country of Moldova. This is the poorest country in the former Soviet Union and the highest country for sex trafficking. So, to raise money for my mission trip, I would do themed parent night outs at my house. So what this was this is kind of like a birthday party without a birthday. We would have a theme, games, crafts, and food. And so having 20 kids at my house, you can imagine pure chaos. It was so fun. Well, I was able to go on my mission trip, and it was life-changing and so much fun. And I plan to do the same thing for 2020. But we all know 2020, everyone's favorite year, that didn't really work out that way. So as I was brainstorming on what to do to raise money for my next mission trip, I started talking to some of the moms whose kids had previously come. And being in lockdown, I talked to one mom in particular whose son had just gotten diagnosed with diabetes. So while everyone was in lockdown, they were in extreme lockdown. She talked about how she missed the parties, and we began brainstorming, how could we take these parties to people in their homes? And we created Kids Create Fun Crates.
Parents watch their children go from online school screens to movie screens and video game screens. And obviously, their biggest worry is that their kids are enduring too much screen time. So our crates give children the opportunity to get entertained, be challenged, and they get to explore and develop their creative side.
So, what actually is Kids Create Fun Crate? It is a different theme box sent out on a quarterly basis with an extra box during Christmas. Some of our previous themes include Safari, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and as of this week, we have released our camping box, which is currently for sale. This crate contains half a dozen crafts, which I will show you now. It is full of games, such as our matching bingo game and our camping box. Recipes such as trail mix and s'mores, and paintings. The majority of our sales right now are to the greater Franklin area, with a few exceptions shipped domestically to Arizona and Minnesota. This idea is perfect for Christmas or for a birthday gift, for entertainment on a long weekend or holiday break, and if mom and dad are on a Zoom call in a pinch and need to suffice the kids. We have sold 216 boxes with countless amounts of positive feedback. We are confident that this is something that will continue to grow because we have already seen the proof. And with the subscription-based market growing more than 350% in 2019, we are confident in this company's promising future. So this crate is perfect for kids ages 4 through 11. So we're kind of hitting that upper preschool through all of elementary school range. It's gender neutral, and half of our crates have a customizable option that allows kids to kind of choose what one of their activities and crafts is. Each box has 6 to 8 crafts, like Avery said, games, and recipes. So because we have already shipped boxes to Arizona and Minnesota, we decided that our total addressable market is 28 million kids aged 4 through 11 throughout the entire United States. But then we narrowed down to Tennessee, which we found through the census to be about 450,000. And finally, in the greater Nashville area, there's about 10,000 kids aged 4 through 11. And those are just our users. Obviously, our customers are much more.
So our indirect competition is individual arts and crafts kits and projects that are sold individually at Michael's, so retail stores such as Michael's and Target, and those kinds of kits are anything from bracelet making to just regular painting or coloring books. Our direct competition, so our biggest competitor, is KiwiCo. KiwiCo is a STEM, STEAM, and science-based kit for kids. They have no apparent missional aspect, and their boxes range anywhere from $30 to $100.
The reason we stand out compared to them is because we are an arts and crafts project inspired by teens, and we give back to Justice and Mercy International, which is a nonprofit organization that exists to make justice personal for the poor, the orphan, and the forgotten. Every box, regardless of the amount of crafts and the theme, is always $30.
So our current sales, we've already sold 216 crates. So that, even though it's over an 8-month time period, that's really over 3 themes. So our first crate was a safari crate, and we sold 40 of those. Our second was in November, and that was a Thanksgiving crate. We sold 72. And our final one was a Christmas, and we sold 100. And we are currently selling a camping box, and we released that on Tuesday. And to today, we've already sold half of those. We have 72 different customers, and out of those customers, 67% have bought more than one box. And 30 out of our 72 have bought multiple. So they bought multiple editions and multiple themes. And finally, we have a revenue of $6,360. So kind of a price breakdown is our crates. We sell them for $30. It takes $12 to make them. We get an $18 profit, so that's 60% on profit margin.
So as Grace mentioned, we started this class already having sales, but our 2 main goals for this semester was to develop a new theme box and explore different distribution methods that will more cost-effectively reach a broader domestic audience. On February 10th, we were granted $300. We spent $122 to buy more specialized boxes for our camping theme, which we started shipping out 4 days ago. Personal money and profits from other boxes was used to buy the materials because we needed them quickly for releasing the newest box. And the final $178 we unspent has been allocated towards transitioning this business from a transaction-based revenue model to a subscription-based revenue model.
So what we're asking for. We're asking for $5,000. If you want to turn into your investor packet on page 11, there's a more thorough breakdown in there too. But this kind of falls into 4 main categories: marketing, branding, technology, and inventory. So marketing, we want to be able to have a professionally done website. We're currently doing all of our sales through emails and Venmo, so having all payments and customers go to that website. We also want to gain entry into 2 of the biggest festivals and fairs in the Middle Tennessee area this fall, which includes Pumpkin Fest and Dickens of a Christmas. We believe that this will really help us gain more first-time customers and hopefully help us get them into the 67% of buying multiple crates. Now, branding, we want to be able to buy custom-made boxes. We want from the moment customers see our boxes, they know it's a unique brand and they get excited to see it. Technology, we want to buy some die cuts. If you look in the bingo game into that current crate, all those bingo chips were hand punched. That's over 7,000 chips for this crate only. So buying die cuts and being able to invest in something like that will not only save us time, but also money down the road. We also want to be able to buy shipping supplies. This includes labels, label makers, and weight, like a scale, so we can expand our market from that, not only to the Tennessee area, but also nationally. And also a computer. Out of the 72 emails we sent for this crate, they were all done on our phones. So having a computer would be able to send emails, social media teasers, and design, and help communicate with our customers more easily. And finally, inventory. With about $800 left over, we want to be able to either fund an 80 crate run or be able to buy in bulk staple supplies, which include pencils, paints, paint pots, and more. So how will we grow? We're currently only doing a 4 to 5 month themes. So we want to be able to grow into hopefully 5, 6, and eventually monthly. And currently, customers can only buy on a 1-to-1 rate basis. So we want to be able for them to subscribe for either a year, 6 months, or multiple months. We also want to do new ventures. We want to expand into the party business. Anytime that there's a celebration in a kid's life, we want to be able to help make that easier for parents to celebrate and put together. We also want to expand our market. With 90% of our sales in the Middle Tennessee area, we want to be able to grow that to a national market. And one new thing is seniors Victoria Ferrari and Avery Wismar will be leaving the business next year to attend top universities in Washington, D.C., George Washington, and Georgetown. So I will be taking up leadership of this business next year.
Finally, we would like to close with a testimony from one of the parents who has bought several boxes from us for 2 boys who are aged 8 and 10. I absolutely love seeing the joy on the boys' faces when they are working on their crafts. There is so much incredible thought and care in these kids, and you can see the heart they have for children. These activities are challenging yet age appropriate. They are the work of professionals. During this season of being home more, I love seeing the boys engaged in and loving something that doesn't involve a screen. Again, we are Kids Create Fun Parades, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
At this moment, we would like to open the floor for questions.
I will start off the questions. As a mother of 4 kids, 3 of which are in your age demographic, this is, I think, so needed. We've done the Kiwi Crate thing before, but I think having the local aspect is amazing. I would love to see you in local festivals to get out into the neighborhood. So I think having the idea of doing Pumpkin Fest and Dickens is an awesome idea. One of my comments was going to be, are you going to start a subscription service? I think that's awesome that you've already thought of that. Continue to keep the 1-month option open. Not everyone is going to be able to either afford a subscription service. And I also love the idea of going into the party business, being able to pick up something that would easily, take the stress out of birthday parties and all that, give it to the kids to get done and do. That's amazing. You mentioned that you have sold about half of your box that you just released on Tuesday. I follow you on Instagram, actually, and I think you guys have got some amazing followers. I saw the Nashville Mom is showcasing your product, which is if you're a mom in the Nashville area, you follow her, so that's awesome. But you mentioned a cap of boxes. Is there a cap every release, or is it just dependent?
Well, currently, so right now we're buying inventory before selling. So that is one major improvement we would like to change, is having customers line up to buy our box before buying our inventory. So we're currently capping this box at 72. So that is one problem that we would like to fix in the future.
Perfect. Congratulations.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Yeah, I mean, you made the comments. I have small kids. Well, they're small and they're young. So I have small and young kids. And we've done Kiwi Crate, and this is a fantastic idea. And as you think about, so this is really well branded, and I think anybody who touches this or sees it is going to be curious about it. As you think about, you talked a bit about the packaging. Is this the direction that you're going in? Something kind of this strong?
Yes, our goal for these boxes is to have it actually printed on the box, printed on the top, printed inside the box. Absolutely.
That's great. That's great. Because there's different, you have a lot of nice differentiating points, but this even just sitting right there just jumps right out at you. It's great.
Wow, this is great. My kids are grown, but I know they would have liked it. I gotta say, from a presentation delivery, you guys knocked it out of the park, right? The eye contact with the audience, the stepping in and out, the command of the stage, it's obviously something that you have had some rehearsing and support on, and that really makes a big difference in your delivery, right? Coordinated, like something that unless you're paying attention, like the audience doesn't realize that's happening, but I know that you're taking turns and you're walking around, you're stepping back, and you've got that time, and that really enhances your delivery in a very powerful way. What is your biggest challenge right now? It seems like you're doing the right things, you're moving into that subscription model. What's your biggest challenge moving forward?
Yeah, great question. So I think the biggest challenge is we're spending a lot of time on the tedious stuff. So having improvements that would be able to help us take less time to create it, but still provide the quality that we are providing would be ideal.
Have you thought about, you probably have, so all these different channels for growth, like the partnering with chains of like schools, pre-K centers, or those types of outfits where like that's an add-on, like you could co-brand it with them and things like that. That just is just another channel in which you could take it probably.
Yeah, I mean, we see this business potentially going long term, so we would love to eventually be able to manufacture, thousands, tens of thousands of these. We think that the subscription base, like Avery said, has grown 350%. So there is a market, but it's still new. And there's no one really quite like us doing crafts. And while KiwiCo does STEM and stuff, we're more of an experience. It's something that you can give to your kids as a built-in babysitter, but also something that you can do as a family by playing bingo. So we do believe that this has potential to grow into chains and like Target and Walmart and Michael's, and we would love to be able to see that one day.
I guess one other idea just to throw out, or something maybe, or a question if you've thought about it, is an online extension for it, because the name to me speaks to the kid. Like I'm creating, and as a child, I'm part of it. And I wonder if there's an online extension where there's some things that connect either thematically to the boxes or whatever that give you kind of a little bit more stickiness of kind of the experience that you're creating, aside from the parties and all the other things you thought about already.
We would love to be able to grow into that too. Yeah, so that's a great idea. Thank you.
We have some boxes available today if you're interested in purchasing them.
I'm all over it.
I love the shameless plug, man. That's what it's about, right?
We would also like to thank our mentor. He's currently on Zoom, but Clay Banks, he's helped us a lot this year and to be able to grow. And also, my mom is back there, and she is our main designer for these crates. So all the covers and stuff that you see have been designed by her.
Mom, stand up. Stand up. Well, this is the last group, and I could go on and on and on about every one of our groups. You've seen a snapshot today of the level of quality of work that these students have put in. She mentioned she's coming back, but Avery and Victoria are going on to college. Georgetown. I'm an old athletic director. I have to say she's full ride scholarship to pitch at Georgetown. Victoria, you're going to do international business. Woo. I'm sorry? International affairs at Georgetown University, and I think she will be phenomenal. So all these kids are so high quality. Please give these folks a round of applause. All right, so here's what we're going to do. The moment of truth is here, and nobody has a harder job than you three. So what we're going to do, we're going to take you three guys up. We're going to go into the room upstairs real quick. We're going to deliberate, and then we're going to present checks to those that are winners. So best of luck to you three on that. Everybody stick around. Mom and dads, if you're here, you have every right to be proud of these folks. They did a phenomenal job. Hey, give a round of applause for our teachers of the program. Dr. Foreman, Mr. Cummins, Stephanie Thomas earlier. Stephanie's on maternity leave. They've done a phenomenal job. April Jackson taking care of the money back there for all the groups. Wave, April. And Paula Chilton connecting. Just to show you the power of this facility, our cutting board guys, Harpeth Valley Vintage, has already secured a deal today before they even left. So congratulations to those guys, job offer. And I'm pretty certain we're going to sell some crates before they get out. So stay with us, we'll be right back. So once again, I cannot say thank you enough to each and one of you groups that presented. You did a phenomenal job today. You are to be commended. To see where you were and where you are today, to see where you were an hour ago, 2 hours ago, to where you presented is pretty phenomenal, and you are to be commended. Let's give those folks one more round of applause. So before we announce the winners, I'm going to throw to the judges for their comments so you can listen to them, and their feedback has been great. Let's give them a round of applause as well for showing up. So without further ado, guys.
I'll go ahead and start. These groups were amazing. I've been a mentor since last year, and seeing the growth and the actuality of products come to life is awesome. I mean, these are skills that some adults don't even have, so be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that by saying my work is all about it's branding and positioning and all that, and I'm always looking for passion, because we could make the best products in the world, but if you don't believe in it, no one's going to believe in you, right? So we saw that in spades today, and I just admire a similar, I wish some adults could extract a little bit of what you have in my work, but it is inspiring to be here with you guys. It's just so impressive. So congratulations to all y'all.
I teach entrepreneurship at Belmont University, and we have a pretty solid, pretty good program. And some of what we saw today is at par or better than some of my seniors. And now, and so I say that because in entrepreneurship, the hardest step is to take that first step and to get it going. And for you guys to, before you graduate from high school, to have done what you've done, the conversations, the research, the maturity in your presentation skills is something that, regardless of what you do after graduation, will be very valuable skills. You were vulnerable to get yourselves up there, and to have done this in the most difficult year is just incredible. So congratulations. Make sure you put this on your resume. This is resume worthy.
One thing we need to make sure, in the short amount of time that I've known these three folks in that deliberation room, there are no punches pulled. So when he tells you that, he really means that. And to think that you're on par with some of those upper level students is pretty phenomenal. Judges, let's talk about the deliberation process, how difficult it was. Let's talk about our rationale behind how we chose what we chose.
I'll try to do justice. Very hard conversation, as you might imagine, up there. It was, even though it was only 10 or 15 minutes, but so we really came down on trying to look at how we determine who won or who gets money or not through two different lenses. One is the actual pitch, right? You guys participated in a pitch competition. This is a pitch competition. There's a rubric that we used. There's some criteria upon which you were measured. And so upon that, there is a set of first place, second place, and third place, right? Then we also realized and thought as we were talking about this that every business is at a different stage in their development. Every business has big potential, but some ideas are just earlier on. Some of you got farther in your research than others in answering some of the questions they need answering. And so we quickly realized that there's a couple of businesses that, if they get the financial support, they can make some very meaningful, sizable improvement in a short period of time. And so there is another set of awards or winners, if you would, for those two businesses that we feel with a little financial support, a little additional financial support and the support from the program, can stand up here next year and really say, look how far we came along, and really point to the support and the financial to get you to that point. And so with that is that we have really two channels of how we decided how to allocate the money.
Thank you very much. Now, who wants to know who won, right? That's what we want to know. Okay, when I call your name, come up on stage with me. In the pitch competition, in third place, Lagome. Lagome, you are receiving 500. Excuse me. You're getting on to me. Is it supposed to be a surprise? $600. Congratulations. Take your pictures, please. All right. Slide right over here. Second place in the pitch competition, Wilco Tutoring. Congratulations. Congratulations, Wilco Tutoring. In first place in the pitch competition, according to our judges, Kids Create Fun Crate. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, I think we're crowded, so we're going to have to go off. Thank you. Round of applause for first, second, and third. According to what was just described, the judges looked at giving additional funding to our remaining two programs. And I want to call HV Vintage up to the stage first, please. The anticipation. The judges have decided to award $1,500 to HV Vintage to further their product. Congratulations to HV Vintage. All right, Oakley and Sage, you guys are up. The judges also decided with your product, they're going to award you $1,500 as well to further the product. Congratulations. I'm so proud of everybody here. This has been a phenomenal event. Thank you to our judges once again. Let's give them one more round of applause. Super tough job. Now, HV Vintage, Oakley and Sage, they're going to come back and they're going to see where you are down the road on that. The rest of you as well. Thank you so much, parents. Thank you so much for coming today. Please feel free to stick around. And if you need to buy a crate, they're here. If you need to buy a scrunchie, they're here. If you want a cutting board, they're here. And if you need tutoring, they're here. Right? Who did I miss? I missed somebody. And if you need a swimsuit, they can help you. They'll custom fit you one. So thank you very much for coming today.